Hello, welcome back. Today is January 27th, 2026. It's a universal day 2. It's a personal day 7, if you can figure it out. So I am a life path 9. I'm a Pisces, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter, all in the 5th house except for Jupiter in 4th. I'm a Taurus North Node, Libra ascending, and Moon and Pluto in Scorpio. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I am going to talk about a few things going on in the calendar today. Yesterday or earlier today, the moon transferred over from Taurus into Gemini around 4 o'clock. And there's a bunch of stuff going on. If you look at, most things are in Aquarius today. We have the vertex, Venus, Mercury, the Sun, Mars, and Pluto all in Aquarius today. So, if you can see this natal chart, look at how much of a trine situation we have going on. Most of those are blue. That means that's good. There's positive aspects. Very little negative, but it just seems that everything's just crowded together. We have Lilith in 17 degrees Sagittarius, 4 degrees Sagittarius, and yeah, pretty cool stuff. Jupiter's in 17 degrees of Cancer, and Chiron is in 22 degrees of Aries. And along with Neptune and Saturn's on its way. It's at 28 degrees. It's reaching that anaretic degree, reaching up those Saturn controls. Hopefully everything breaks loose. I cannot wait for February when Saturn enters Aries and everything can just start over, because I never thought my sign could be so rough, but Pisces it's almost like Pluto in a way, because even though Neptune is the ruling planet, it's because of the illusions and because of the boundarylessness and the spiritual bypassing and everything that could become a lie through Pisces, because of all of the delusions and illusions and the boundary breakdown and stuff. It leaves room for a lot of hiding. And I'm really not into sneaky stuff. I'm really not into what I like to call rat behavior, because it's really just not my vibe at all. I just like straightforward, just like no games, like all for peace. Can we work this out? Can there just be no games and just figure out what the issue is? And if we can't figure it out, let bygones be bygones, and set the boundary and respect that this is for you what this is for me. And we're just gonna not go there. I'm getting too old for this stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on here today. The daily color today is scarlet, so I got my leggings on. And I wanted to talk a little bit about houses. The 12 houses of the zodiac. So it's crazy because like your houses are like the needs wheel. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the needs wheel. Like, and when you're working on yourself and improvement, it's about turning your lack into abundance, turning your state of mind, figuring out what your needs are, and then changing your state of mind into what it would be if they were already fulfilled. Everything you had was already fulfilled, and you can come from a state of abundance instead, and it gives you better decision-making tools because you're coming from a place like, oh, I already have everything. I already have everything I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and deliberate this way, or I'm going to make this decision because I'm not stressed. I don't have the worry of lack. I'm abundant. So I feel like the houses overlap with that. It's like these wheels are just crazy. It's like with the body, with the nervous system, with like the emotions that come with it, with like the actual minerals and like the things that you take certain times of year that help you stay in balance with your own homeostatic chemistry, depending on what your environment is like. So to give a brief description, the first house is about self-appearances, beginnings, the body, first impressions, attitude, identity, approach to life. It can be your identity, your core identity. they're like your personal, it's your first personal house. It's like all the firsts. It's like, it's your rising sign, it's your ascendant. So my ascendant is in Libra. So I'm always looking to be fair. I'm always looking to balance the scales. I'm always looking for justice also. My sun is a Libra, and whew, it's a lot. It's so much. So I see parts of myself in him, and it's a good reflection, honestly. It keeps me honest in a lot of ways, because he calls me out on stuff even though it's like inappropriate, and I'm just like, I can't, but I'm grateful. I love my son to death. He's so cute. He'll be embarrassed if I talk about him. So the second house, it covers all matters related to your immediate material and physical environment. Taste, scent, sound, touch, sight. It also rules income, money, and self-esteem. The third house it rules all forms of communication, talking, thinking, gadgets, and mobile devices. Third house covers siblings, neighborhoods, local travel, libraries, schools, teachers, and community affairs. The fourth house is the Cancer-ruled fourth house. It's at the very bottom of the zodiac wheel and rules the foundation of all things, which makes sense because it's the number 4. I've been seeing a lot of 4s and a lot of 7s lately. Today, I'm always getting 144 everywhere I go. It's like, or 441, 1144. I've been getting 1010 a lot lately. Makes me think I'm like Neo in the Matrix, all 1s and 0s. This includes your privacy, basic security, your parents, particularly your mother, children, your own mothering abilities, nurturing, and TLC. I have really been working on all these things. I've been really working on laying new, solid foundations in my life and with my children, and like just my household, just all of the things that are personal security that are directly related in my life, just making sure that the kids feel secure in their environment and calm, and that they know that they're supported and helped in all ways, and that there's a team, there's a community of people that care about them at all times, that they can talk freely and openly and not be afraid. Whether if they feel uncomfortable coming to me, they have someone else they can go and talk to, and it's private and confidential, and they don't have to worry about it, and it's safe. Safety matters, and they don't feel like they're being messed with or that they have to alienate somebody. It's on the path to health and freedom, and I love it. Go Neptune and Aries. Come on, Saturn in Aries. I can't wait for February, for when all that changes, because Saturn's again at that 28th anaretic degree. We're wrapping up all of the constructs and Saturn disciplinary foundations. Like, Saturn's all about foundations and laying new groundwork for what's going to be coming on for the next, decade plus of our lives in Aries. So yeah, I'm glad that we're moving out of Pisces, because it kind of deals with all the illusions, and hopefully there'll be space for freedom, sovereignty, and collectiveness, connectiveness, to come correctiveness through appreciating each other's sovereignty so we can unite as one. It's all about coming authentic, being your most authentic self, not leaving anything hidden, just coming out with full truth and having everything come to awareness and dealing with things so that way you can heal and move on. I might say that a lot. I'm kind of a broken record about that. 5th house. So my Jupiter is in the 4th house in Pisces. So I'm really expanding on abundance in all new things, abundant and strong foundations. I'm getting back to myself and just being myself in peace, trying to anyway. It's difficult when dealing with difficult situations. 5th house in astrology is ruled by dramatic Leo, and it governs itself. It governs self-expression, drama, creativity, color, attention, romance, fun, and play. Oh wow, that's crazy, because my Sun, Mercury, and Venus are in the 5th house. That explains a lot. So the 6th house is the domain of health and service. It rules schedules, organization, routines, fitness, diet, and exercise, natural and healthy living, helpfulness, and being of service to others. The 7th house in astrology is the sector of relationships and other people. It governs all partnerships, both business and personal, and relationship associated matters like contracts, marriage, and business deals. I don't know, do I have anything in the 7th house? No, I do not. Not that I can see here anyway. So I don't have my vertex, fortune, or Lilith, or IC here, or the north node, south node. I don't see it anywhere here. So, in this natal chart of mine, I can pull that up later though, but I don't see anything in the 7th house. The 8th house is the mysterious sector that rules birth, death, sex, transformation, mysteries, merged energies, and bonding at the deepest level. The 8th house also rules other people's property and money, real estate, inheritances, investments, etc. I just had the last week, there was a massive transformation on the 20th of it was that big Saturn, Mars, Pluto, Uranus situation going on that had a lot of, it was like, I believe it was Capricorn and Taurus and Scorpio. And for Scorpio, which is my moon, it was like all about the 8th house and other people's money and inheritance and investments, and it was very accurate. It was crazy. 9th house covers the higher mind, expansion, international and long distance travel, foreign languages, inspiration, optimism, publishing, broadcasting, universities, and higher education. Luck, risk, adventure, gambling, religion, philosophy, morals, and ethics. I believe, nope, nothing in the 9th house either. Ha. So, okay. 10th house is at the very top and most public part of the chart. The 10th house governs structures, corporations, tradition, public image, fame, honors, achievements, awards, boundaries, rules, discipline, authority, sounds like Saturn, fathers, and fatherhood. Definitely Saturn. The cusp or border of the 10th house is also called the midheaven. My Leo. It represents strength. Clues, astrologers into your career path. Okay. So actually my midheaven is Leo in the 10th house. I thought it was the first, but it's actually the 10th house. My ascendant Libra is the first. And they're right next to each other. So I misread that. Wow. That's crazy because Leo is my midheaven, and it's about career, discipline, authority, fathers, and I'm all about strength. I'm all about the real deal. I'm all about the divine masculine, if it exists. I don't know. I was so lucky to have experienced a divine masculine. I think it's so rare, and this person was so deeply loved that I feel the void there. Everybody that ever got close to this person still feels the void because they were such a divine masculine. Capricorn as well. And this person wasn't always so divine. Like, what was so great about it is they had that transformation in life. They came to that realization and they made the change. They did the work. And that, I believe, is what really makes a divine feminine or divine masculine, is those who come from hardship, those who are willing to do the shadow work. I just saw a post on Instagram recently saying that my birthday, February 28th, is the birth date of a shadow witch rather than a healer. Has October 28th on there too, which is hilarious. Because I've always been more of a healer, and I don't know, maybe I am about doing shadow work because I pull out the shadow in others and I make them face it in a way without even trying. I don't mean that in a forceful way. It's just me being my weird self. It just usually ends up pulling out triggers in people who have a lot of shadow work to do. And they either run or they rebel or revolt. And I just thought that I was just like, oh man, I'm just too much. But now I realize it's just triggers, because the people who see the person that I really am, they're like, yay, you're fun, like, I enjoy you. So, well, learning every day, learning something new. Life is fascinating, even on the hard days. So it's really great, yeah. If you ever have if any of you have ever encountered the divine masculine, please share in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Every review is a positive engagement for me. Any type of gossip or negative comment, anytime you speak my name or speak anything about me in a reference to my energy, it's all gonna just transmute into either profit, pleasure, or just positivity, prosperity, growth, all that stuff. So I'm very well protected and very well loved. I'm never alone. I've got a whole crew of just love. 11th house in astrology, and I wish that for everyone. I know actually everybody does have this, whether they choose to tap into this or not. There's no such thing as not loving God. The 11th house rules teams, friendships, groups, society, technology, video, and electronic media, networking, social justice, rebellion, and humanitarian causes. It also rules originality, eccentricity, sudden events, surprises, invention, astronomy, science fiction, and all things futuristic. Okay, that's interesting. Groups and societies, technology. Oh yeah, so like when Uranus was in like dealing with the 11th house, it's like technology was so bizarre. I think it was like earlier this fall, last fall, maybe end of summer, and technology got super weird. And it was like Uranus was just kind of being like, okay, here's surprises and things. Whatever your frequency is, it's pulling in on that. I'm gonna drink water. My throat's kind of dry. So yeah, enjoying my scarlet day. Last house is 12th house. It's the zodiac that completes the 12th and final house, which rules endings, like life path 9. This house covers the final stages of a project, tying up loose ends, completions, the afterlife, old age, and surrender. It's also associated with separation from society, institutions, hospitals, jails, hidden agendas, and secret enemies. And it rules the imagination, creativity, arts, film, dance, poetry, journals, and the subconscious mind. Yeah, so it's got a little bit of Pluto in there. Hidden agendas, anything in secret enemies, yeah, that definitely sounds a bit like Pluto and life path 9 type stuff. There's been some 12th house going on, 12th house energy, I feel like the last week, especially with things wrapping up in Pisces for Neptune. And that massive cazimi, like everything in Aquarius. Solar weather has been really affecting the world. There's been so much snow all across the world, covering Europe, the US, all the way down to the southern states, like down to Texas, where it's like freezing right now. It's quite weird. And then Japan even, it's gotten a lot of snow, China. So it's been just like a unanimous, just like world blanket of snow. Okay. So yeah, just to do some brief astrological tying, the moon that just entered Gemini today, it's got a conjunction to Uranus. The moon is sextile to Saturn, sextile to Neptune. Mars is conjunct to Pluto. The moon is trine to Pluto. And the moon is also trine to Mars. And these are all happening mostly in the PM. Things are shifting over. And then tomorrow on the 28th, which the moon will still be in Gemini, it's a waxing gibbous. It's a little past the half moon right now. The moon will be trine to the sun, trine to Mercury, and trine to Venus. Interesting. Okay. So we're wrapping up. We're entering Aquarius season. Aquarius is ruling planet is Uranus. Saturn traditional. It rules the calves and the ankles, which I'm going to get into some medical astrology along with like acupuncture, balance and organ peak times, working that wheel. I'm going to go into deep depth conversations with that. If anyone's ever interested, please share any stories you might have, especially about divine masculine. I feel like I would love to hear stories of if you've ever met a divine masculine and what that meant for you and what that looked like for you and how you would define that, because I think that the age of Aquarius and these outer planets moving into Aries is about restoring the divine masculine, that a person can be a strong warrior. A man can be, because it's always like toxic masculinity or just like spinelessness and just like rat behavior, and there's like no in between. And then there's just like secret toxic masculinity and closeted stuff. It's like you're either just out there just being, and there it's like, where's the middle? Where's the one that holds vulnerability? Where's the one that owns their strength through vulnerability and is still can be the like protector, can still be the warrior, and still come home and be soft, and still come home and know what they want with strength and certainty and forthright opportunity and just strong, not rebelling against anything, not being immature about anything, not having to play games. Just, this is who I am. This is what I want. I am vulnerable and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. I am strong because I'm vulnerable, and I know my part, and I am the protector and I'm the warrior, and I protect the divine feminine softness because I need it to stay vulnerable and keep me correct. Because honestly, most men are usually looking for a mother when they find a partner. Forgive me if this offends anybody watching. It's not my intention. That's just been my finding. And I don't mean that in any type of pejorative way. That's just been my observation. Because if you think about it, a lot of women are also looking for their dad too. So it's just, or what their vision would be of a dad. But yeah, I've been looking for that divine masculine. I'm not gonna lie. So with all these things going on, please share if you've found any sensitivity to solar weather as well. And if any of these aspects that are happening right now, especially with the outer planets, are affecting you in any way. So that would be interesting to know. I've also been brushing up on, can't get it out of my mind, like spring coil theory and Fibonacci sequence, because of the golden ratio and the spirals that we see naturally in life, like in roses as the bud turns into a bloom, seashells that go in spirals like the nautilus shell, and just the way every animal makes these natural spirals, how our even tension and knots that form in our bodies, in our myofascia, they form these spiral knots of energy, and other energy too, like other entities, other energies that come through our auras and our energetic grids, things that we let in, things that are weakened, things that are unknown, that have just been there for so long we don't recognize it to be any different than who we already are. So we can't even separate ourselves from it because it's there inherently almost. It feels like a core part of our identity. I recently come to this understanding about myself, about some things, and it's like separating myself from, it's like there's stuff that I've been taking on since before I could even talk. So how do you take all of that off? How do you separate yourself from all of that? And I think the only way you can really do that is by letting go taking big deep breaths. Breath work is huge. I also recommend Reiki tea. I met this beautiful, wonderful Reiki practitioner who uses the moon to infuse her blends, and she gets raw, authentic blue Egyptian lotus flower that I drink. It's great for the third eye chakra balancing, gives you great dreams. It helps with sleep, helps with balance. Like, your sleep is meditative, and it's strong. You don't need that much sleep, and it resets you for the next day. It's really powerful. Her name's Paula, and it's Mayan Moon Goddess. Mayan Moon Goddess. She's on Facebook. You can look her up online. You just can give her a Google, Paula Reiki tea. I also get some shaman tea, herbal alchemist tea. It's got some Egyptian blue lotus with some Kalia Zakatachichi. And it's supposed to be another, it's not mind influencing in the way that you'd think. It's just more of like a meditative tea, and it helps you get into the deeper wisdom part. It's like to help you sleep and have you have better dreams that are more in touch with your subconscious, like to where you need to journal it when you wake up. So yeah, learning about all these houses and learning what everything is in, it brings us back to today, like how all this stuff, if you ever have any questions about your birth chart, please let me know, because I always find it fun to go into all of this. And I've come to some pretty profound realizations in friends and family about learning who they are and like what body parts are often bothering to them, and going through that whole process of like the medical intuitive piece with the medical astrology, the different elements, the times of the year where they live, their environment, plus the houses that their planets are in. It really explains a lot. I'll go into a more deep dive of mine on a different day. But back to spring coil. So DNA is a spiral, and it's a part of the medical astrology work that I've discovered. And nobody taught me this. I've just come to learn this because of the light bodies inside, because of the constellations that live within us. Everything is connected, like portals, stargates, if you will, which we'll eventually learn how to do in our Walter Russell reality here, dense light, defined by elements and minerals, and yeah. Speaking of which, like spring coil and all that, third eye Alice and signals, frequency coming through, like the interstellar events that we've had. I found these recently, going through things that I made right after the massive eclipse in August of 2017, when I was going through some pretty tough dark night of the soul situations that I'm still recovering from. And I was getting into coloring a lot, and this one says stay humble. So I brought it up and brought it over here. It's in my little area. The other one is I would find you in any lifetime. Yeah. I found this a couple days ago, and I was staring at it. I realized it'd been sitting on the side of my refrigerator, and I forgot that it was there. You just don't even notice. And you hear the noise. That is what woke me up. That plow machine has been going. I thought it was my alarm. Why? All night. Every time it backs up, it makes this loud alarm sound. Beep, beep, beep. I was like, man, it's too early to wake up. But it's all good. It was just a nap anyway. I would find you in any lifetime. And I believe that's true. I've been reading some information talking about how when you don't have contact with somebody, that it's actually meaning more of an attachment than actual connection and love. And I don't think I agree with that, because once you develop a chord with somebody, I don't think it goes away. And if you're really connected to somebody and they're your twin flame or they're a soulmate connection, there's no way that that person doesn't also feel what you're feeling. It's just impossible. Even if they're rejecting it, even if it's not at the forefront of their consciousness, they are feeling those emotions, even if they're suppressed. And they're hard to break. They're not dealing with it, or they are dealing with it. And when it all surfaces, it's like a rush or like a release. It's like catharsis at its finest, which is the goal of theater and drama. So yeah, I would find you in any lifetime. And the last one is, it's the heart chakra. Explore your heart. So I would find you in any lifetime. Stay humble and explore your heart. I found these to all be very relevant to where I'm at in life right now. If anybody else is also on this journey, please share. I'd love to hear your stories. Also, shout out to Armand with Renaissance. He's huge. I'm a huge fan of his, and I love his sassy shiz, all that stuff. It's fantastic. Quite stellar. Yeah, so. Okay. So coil and DNA. Resonance, light energy, third eye atlas. I always call it third eye atlas. These interstellar objects that come in. I find it to be really relevant for the Neptune Pisces departure into Aries, because I tapped into it in a salt bath once. Dead Sea salt bath, I recommend highly for cleansing and just for meditating. And if you ever want to channel or portal to places, like I was saying earlier, that coils, spirals, Fibonacci sequence, it all ties into that. It all ties into what we're eventually going to be doing, or what, the secret government is already doing with their programs in outer space, finding ways to portal to other different star systems, which are just different thoughts and ideas, the way that we can channel and find our highest timeline, the person who's already figured it out, because time is not real. It's just a coil. Time is a coil. It's not linear. So you can find yourself at different areas of life and pull from that wisdom. And I'm at the point where I'm learning whether it is safe to pull from those places, because I don't want to take from higher versions of myself. I only want what that frequency is openly able to give without taking, if that makes sense. I don't want to pull others down in order to boost myself up. I would rather, can you help me? Can you lend a hand and it not affect you? And it's just like, if anything, it's a complete match, like the receptor active site, like an enzyme to a catalyst, and enzyme catalyst receptor site. It's a perfect fit. It's like that person is looking for the ability to help their lower selves, because it boosts them up and helps heal their timeline even more. It makes their timeline even better. So the regular equation for spring, and K, the spring constant, defined in pounds per inches or newtons per millimeters, is force equals K of X, where K is the spring constant and X is the rate. It's so like, for example, if it's like pounds per inches, like if it's 10 pounds and like 0.5, it'd be like, okay, so then it's 5 pounds per inches, if you know what I mean. Like force equals 5, like if K was 10 pounds and, sorry, yeah, I think that's right. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But yeah, Usually the spring constant is determined in pounds per inches or newtons per millimeter. And the force, the force would be like 10. And yeah, forgive me, it's late. So, but I've been studying about it lately, and like theta, the angle of degree, like in moments, in torsion and torque, like moments of coil. And like as my own study in engineering and working with equipment, I worked with a lot of engineers doing validation system testing and like installing new equipment and testing it. And it was really eye-opening. It really got me interested in thinking about spirals and golden ratio, especially the person that I was with. He was very into the golden ratio at the time. He had just finished reading the book, and I don't know, I just love number sequences, like factorial. I didn't like integrals in Calc 2 for the longest time, but now I like it. I like series in calculus too. Those are kind of my jams. Like I love matrix math, series, substitution, equations, because it's like everything is an algorithm. If you find the recipe, it's like the 369. You have the trinity of what you need, then you can manifest and transform and take it to completion at the 9. Find out what you got and make it a complete product with the number 10 or 1 again. Start a new process. Add it to your tool belt. I'm a bit nerdy tonight. Just bear with me. I'm just shuffling a deck. A fine card for today. Some quick announcements. Tomorrow, the 28th, is color yellow. Moon will still be in Gemini. It will still be waxing. Full moon is doesn't even say. Okay. Full moon. Oh, it must be in February. Is it in February? It's the 1st of February. Crazy town. Wow. And it's at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, evening time. The moon will be in Leo. Strength. And what was it, that house that was ruled by Leo? The dramatic house. The 5th house. That's what all my Pisces dominating. Like, I can't believe that. My sun, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter are all in Pisces, and 3 out of the 4 are 5th house. Like, everything with Jupiter is 5th house. Those are my dominating things. Gosh. But my moon, Scorpio, is in the 1st house with Libra in the ascending. And my Pluto is also in the 1st house, which is also in Scorpio. So I've got Scorpio in the 1st house. That's crazy. My North Node Taurus is in the 7th house of relationships and other people. It governs all partnerships, both business and personal. So relationship associated matters like contracts, marriage, and business deals. That makes sense because I uncover hidden truths. Like, I'm very grounded. I'm very into quality communication, very direct, no games, just high quality relationships. I'd rather have quality over quantity any day. I like, popularity is okay, but only if it's authentic, and only if it's like authentic in purpose that it serves, or it's positive and it's a give and take. Give and take is big deal. And if things aren't a give and take, then there's fair conversation and there's open awareness to be like, okay, maybe I'm the issue, instead of always being like, oh, it's everybody else's issue, without doing any of the work to be like, nope, I know what's mine, I know it's yours, and that's that. But a lot of people, I find, some are learning to function this way, but some are still catching up. All right, oh, one popped out here, so that's that. Okay. So yeah, the geometry of spring tension is pretty cool. Like theta, I think it's like what? Like K, I guess K coil, like torque per turn, coil bodies, where like theta C, like the angular deflection, number of turns. And it's great to, because if you think about it in DNA, it's like if you realize the torque in the coil, like where you are in the Fibonacci sequence. And also you'll see it in the Universal One of like Walter Russell and Secret of Light. It's like how if you've determined where you're at in that coil and that you're jumping timelines, like you feel the portal, like how far is it away from you that you have to jump. Because if the coil is, you're at the big part of the coil, it's not always a constant perhaps, sometimes it's more of a vortex. Where, or like, you know, like how a tornado or dust devil is, it's like a little spiral, but it's not all equally measured. Like sometimes those circles, that diameter is pretty huge, so you're making a pretty big jump if you're trying to get to that other place. Whereas if you're down, it's easier to just jump, like you're going on stairs. I feel like it's all related, and the same thing with the Fibonacci sequence, because the numbers only get bigger as you go, and that's part of that too. So DNA helix, I wonder if they're all, I mean, from what we understand with DNA, and like when we go through the zipper of DNA transferase and RNA transferase, like where DNA is coding into RNA, those sequences seem to be pretty equivalent all the way through those coils as they're transferring. But maybe in reality, because there's so much space in an atom between the nucleus and the electrons, and even just the neutron from the proton, and then all the quantum figures, there's so much space in between all of that. It's like, how far are the jumps being made, even at a quantum level? I woke up to this thing, and then my mind just starts going here. So, okay. So the card that fell out was the Queen of Cups. It means emotional fulfillment. I would say right now I am working towards that is my goal, is emotional fulfillment. Queen of Cups, it's like she's won the trophy, checkmate. She's like, protect your queen. Beautiful. And she's got the water at her feet. She's on the beach, rocks underneath her feet, and she's got like seraphim and cherubim on her throne. She's got a nice crown. She's got a beautiful wedding gown on looking thing. And she's just admiring her win. And it's cool because like on the side of her trophy, it seems like it's like a hexagon. So there's like 6 sides to it. But kind of looks like, from far away, it looks like it could be like a Pluto trophy. But on the sides, you see those like Lilith looking signs, which is, Lilith is the predetermined first wife of Adam, that in the beginning of creation story, that would not submit to Adam's authority, and therefore caused a lot of spootiness and would not submit. And it's about healing Lilith, restoring the Sophia wisdom, knowing that it's give and take, and you don't have to submit your authority to anyone. So I find like Lilith and Chiron have a lot in common, because it ties in your mother wound and your wounds from being repressed or being shamed. And Lilith does not take any of that. She's the boss. Like, she's like, I'm not putting up with any of that. And if you're gonna try and deal with me, it's not about just rebelling without a cause, which you find in a lot of people who are in denial about their own personal shadows, who aren't willing to do the shadow work. This is about being like, no, this is who I am. Like, I'm not doing this because I have done the work, because I know that these are my flaws, because I know, and I'm owning it. I own this, and no thank you. And it's more of like a rising above. It doesn't have to be confrontational. It doesn't have to be avoidant. It's just a very much like, take care. Like, I'm really just trying to undo all of this, like, knots in my stomach that I've been holding for so long. I was doing so well, and then I just have been just a rubber band ball that I've just been trying to take it off. And it's just because I've been in a frequency that lately that is just really not, it's like the opposite of who I am. I've had to, like, and I don't like it because I don't like to cause harm, and I don't like to be confrontational if I can find peace instead. And it's just a bummer because I see timelines, and I try to save people from timelines. And when I try to warn people, they view it as a threat sometimes. And I'm just like, no. Like, please just do this. Like, please just listen, because, like, I don't want to do this to you. I don't want to have to show you who you are in such a harsh way when it could have just been avoided if you just did the shadow work. And it's hard. So, and I've come across relationships like this, just all types of relationships, work relationships, friendships. I think we all do this, and we just don't, maybe it's not just described in the way that I'm describing it, but if you have come across any of these things, please share, because that would be really interesting discussion. We could even do like a live chat and figure out how that works, because that would be a lot of fun. So, okay, Queen of Cups, emotional fulfillment. Then we have the reverse, Two of Wands. Interesting. And here in its card, you see this guy holding the world, and he's got one wand in his hand, he has one behind him. It's like he's choosing, like, wands are more like games, like people playing games, so it's a reverse. So this person, this little booklet says Two of Wands. Okay, yep, he's at a battlemented roof over sea and shore. He holds a globe and a staff. Another is fixed in a ring. What is he talking about? What is he talking about, ring? Oh, it's fixed. Okay, the other wand, it's focused in a post, like it's being held up by, like curtain rods. They have that little ring that holds them in place. It's like that. The other wand is being held up. It's not being held by him, the guy in the card. And it's reversed. So the rose and cross and lily should be noticed on the left side. Yeah, it's like a sigil. And the divinatory meanings are between the alternative readings, there's no marriage possible. On the one hand, riches, fortune, magnificence. On the other, physical suffering, disease, chagrin, sadness, and mortification. The design gives one suggestion. Here is a lord overlooking his dominion and alternately contemplating a globe. It looks like the malady, the mortification, the sadness of Alexander amidst the grandeur of this world's wealth. Reversed is surprise, wonder, enchantment, emotion, trouble, and fear. That's funny because I was just describing about, frequency and having to operate in a different frequency for just finishing up 3D. It's a part of the ascension process. It's a part of this whole Aquarius change, the whole Neptune and Saturn change into Aries. I know that because Aries is about action. Mars has been in Capricorn for a while, and now Mars has changed into Aquarius. And it's about revolution. It's about the executing the changes that you find. So like Capricorn's heavy energy. Even though my divine masculine that I grew up with was very Capricorn. And yeah, he could have some very heavy energy, but when it came to how he treated others, unless he was in a really sulky mood and he was in like his depressed whatever, he was very much like not heavy, just like fun, just easy. But I can see at the same time that it's frustrating because I don't understand this with Capricorns. It's like they're so grounded and so responsible in some ways. But at the same time, they need help with boundaries. They need help with like self-awareness. The men anyway. The women, I feel like the women are on it. Like the women know exactly what they're doing and they know exactly what they're about. They know, like, I don't forgive you. You've done something to cross me. I may forgive you, but I won't forget. They own their stuff and they're on it. But the men, it's like just so passive in a way, but then so stubborn and rebellious at the same time. It doesn't make sense. Like it's all conflict. And that's why it's always referred to as the devil energy in tarot. And usually just like even Hindu and ancient astrology, Egyptian astrology, Capricorn is always referred to as like just kind of the death, like Scorpio's death, but like in transformation rising. And that's why Sagittarius is Phoenix rising, but Capricorn is like through the muck, that whole sea goat, like very much like rebellious without a cause, very sullen, very grim, very like my glass is half empty, sometimes pessimistic, overthinking, over worrying. Whereas like Taurus is just more fluidly grounded. I think it's because of the springtime birth. Virgo is just too much, too over analytical, too much overthinking, and too possessive because of it. Too much control. See, my throat goes because it's just like, I don't like to talk like that. So it's just like, I don't mean to say anything negative, but I'm only talking about shadow aspects. And it refers to the Two of Wands because when you're dealing with sigils like that's describing and pictures that are describing the riches, fortune, and magnificence, and then it's the other choice, which it's like making two choices. It's like the Two of Swords in a way, but you're blind. You're not blindfolded. You're looking out, and you're just like, I'm holding one, not the other. And the globe, it's like it looks like a malady, the mortification, a sadness. The sadness amidst the grandeur of this world's wealth. Surprise, wonderment, enchantment, emotion, trouble, and fear. So surprise is Uranus. It sounds like Uranus. First, enchantment, emotion, trouble, and fear. Yeah. So that's reversed. Wonder. And then the Fool is the third card. So that's interesting because the Fool is like new beginnings. That's Aries energy. You're starting off on a new journey. So I have emotional fulfillment as the Queen of Cups, or the collective as well. So we all are embracing. This is a collective reading. It's for everybody. But we're all in it together. We're all expressing this in our own way. Whatever you're going through in your life, please share if any of this resonates with you. So we have come to the point where we have emotional fulfillment with the Queen of Cups. We have reversed Two of Wands. So it's wonder, enchantment, emotion, trouble, and fear. And then we have the Fool, which is new beginnings and starting off on new journeys, leaping off the cliff, not knowing what's going to be on the other side, but we're going on to that whole transformation, walking into those new beginnings and setting those new foundations, which is exactly where I'm at right now. I have no idea what my future holds for me. I have no clue. I know what I want. Can't really say what I want because it's complicated, but it's layered. But I know what I can do right now, and I'm just setting stable foundations and giving my kids everything I can and enjoying my life and being grateful for every moment that I have. I love my life so much. There's so much good to this life. There's no reason not to come clean about yourself and be honest. Like I have got some shadows, but I don't deny it. Like scary stuff that I've been through, that I've done, that I come clear about, that I'm no longer that person because I faced those shadows and I moved on. And now I find balance and I find peace and I have purpose and I have faith and I'm excited. So the shadow side, it fades. It's like, it's not about who you were. It's about what do you do with it once you face it, and who are you now? And what are you going to do when everything is taken from you? Who do you become? Who do you choose to be? And I aim to stay like Jesus, even if I'm not acting that way. But I always want to be that way. Like, I'm done with yelling. I don't like it. It's not really what I want. And my voice really gets dry and hurts for several days. And emotions are a lot. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so that is that. Let's do a Lemuria. Beyond Lemuria. So, those embarking on new journeys right now, please like and subscribe and share in the comments below, because it would be really interesting to talk about how this whole transition has affected everybody. So, Lemuria gives great intuitive insight. The first time I ever used this deck, I had such insight, such spiritual awakening that I was able to kind of see into it. It was like everything was synchronous. There's times in my life where the thoughts I'm thinking are being said around me at the same time, or just like in delay of a second. And if you ever experience this, that's cool. Because time isn't linear. Even though in judicial systems and in other more structured foundational 3D establishments, everything is kind of in its very dogmatic state. Everything is very linear, you come this way, you show this way, you come correct, and you deliberate with honor and respect, like respecting government buildings, for example, not yelling in them, not causing scenes, respecting government housing. It's a place of the law. It's where you deal with those kinds of situations, not where you cause them. And having respect for places like that where there's sanctity. It's like, yes, it's not exactly where you want to be. Nobody wants to be in a government building of any kind. But it's a place where you also know the boundaries and you show respect. Doesn't matter if you're like in the Social Security office, or if you're in a courthouse, or if you're in like a house, like town hall, city hall. You know, even in a museum, you show respect. So, okay, so I see the violet flame. Ooh, that's some Metatron. Angels are around us all the time. I have angels with me everywhere. Okay, that is 52. Ha 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 ha. If anybody has any unique Lemurian, I was in Sedona a couple times this year, and man, so many interactions about Lemuria that people are flocking to Sedona, and I can just see it in them. They're like star seeds. I can just see the purple like emanating. It's like off them, where I'm more of like an aqua and sometimes amber energy. The violet flame, your psychic toolkit, recentering practices, deepening your energetic awareness, clearing your aura, healthy energetic boundaries. Haha, that's what we're just talking about. Protection, removing trauma from your field. That's exactly where I'm at. If you're in this place, let me know. And rebalancing after times of raised frequency. Yes, I was saying yesterday how ascension symptoms, it's like lots of swelling, lots of headaches, lots of tension in the body, and certain important like heart center chakra in the hips, and like massive swelling throughout the body, just overall body aches. It's like, definitely. Our glimpses of higher awareness can be followed by periods of intensity as we return to normal. These uncomfortable experiences are shadow elements unaligned, the higher vibration, dropping away so we can maintain our new frequency. Your sensitivity will be heightening, so it may be harder to spend time in places with frantic activity. You may feel disoriented, have emotional ups and downs, and even physical symptoms. Wow, that was last week for me. Daily practices for recentering will allow you to drop into yourself and be present and still. away from busy mind chatter and distractions. There are so many ways to meditate. So experiment and find something that works for you. Painting, cooking, shoveling snow. There's no way to do it wrong. Yoga, qigong, painting, or walking are just a few examples. It used to be Pilates, but now that I teach, it's like, it becomes more of like, even taking a class, my mind can't quiet as much anymore because I'm thinking about the cueing and I'm talking about it. And it's just like, I don't know, it's different perspective. We can learn to protect and maintain the energy we cultivate in ourselves, not from fear, but through a healthy awareness of what is ours and what is the energy of others. That's hard for somebody like me, an intuitive empath that doesn't even know. It's like learning discernment of like, okay, this is just my energy and I am clear. And all of this stuff is not mine. So whatever's coming in and whatever I'm experiencing, like I know that's not mine. Like, why am I feeling this here all of a sudden? My thoughts are clear. So what is this that what was this? It was, even as if it's like a past life, another me. Our consciousness and our empathy may increase. Maintaining energetic sovereignty will allow for heartfelt exchanges with healthy boundaries. Yes, I would love that. Just as we keep our body fit and healthy, it is good to ensure our energy field is free from anything that no longer serves us. But that means I've been hearing the word rebirth so much, like crazy much. So much, like rebirth. Okay. And it's like in reference specifically for me. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this. Anyway. How do we adjust here? So, we experience some level of trauma as we go through life. The effects can stay in our aura, and if it's unaddressed, may influence our physical or emotional well-being. There are many ways to clear your energy field. Seeing an energetic healer or learning clearing methods you can do for yourself can be so helpful when you feel dense, heavy, triggered, sluggish, or down. Being able to kickstart a positive vibration so you can regain perspective can be the key to flowing through situations that seemed overwhelming or surmountable. Work with the violet flame to transmute anything that is not for your highest good into love. The flame is simple to visualize and a powerful tool that can be used by anyone. The violet flame. So the divinatory meaning is consider your psychic toolkit. Do you have a range of accessible go-to practices for recentering, cleansing your aura, and protecting your energy? An exercise routine for psychic fitness will keep your aura strong and resilient, your energy sovereign, and your vibration high. Maintaining clear and vibrant energy will also help you see through the illusions that may be blocking or disorienting you. Bring the violet flame into your meditation and self-care practices for graceful rebalance after heightened energy levels. Yeah, I've been going through massive upgrades and it's been painful in the body. And also everybody around me lately, because of everything that's been going on, has been massively, like, and myself included, in heavy third eye energy. People, like, oh my gosh. Most official workers, like authoritative workers, like in our judicial system and in just like any type, like the police stations, like anything like that, they're always in like heavy thought. And there's just so much like heavy, like crown and third eye blockages just clogged, and the body is just like, what is going on? Because it's receiving all these fight or flight signals throughout the energetic meridians because of the thoughts that are just circulating that are negative. It's like, or just overbearing and overwhelming on the system. And then you see everybody with these sinus colds because their liver is like, I'm going to war. Like, what? You want me to send the arsenal where? The appendix gets confused, so it doesn't know where to direct these things. And the spleen is like, well, I'm hungry, so just keep eating because I can't tell whether you just need rest or you're hungry or you're thirsty. And so everything gets out of whack. And then people wonder why they have issues with glucose regulation in their system, and that their gut is confused because the majority of serotonin receptors are in your gut lining, especially your esophageal lining. And if those are disrupted in any way, your body can't really feel much. It doesn't even matter if you like take caffeine or if you take like any type of boost of anything, you can't feel it because it's shut down, it's overloaded. Beta receptors, serotonin in the esophageal lining and throughout the rest of the intestinal and stomach lining. If those are all worn down and they're not functioning in homeostasis, which mine is not because of celiac, but yeah, just food for thought. Lots of food for thought. Violet flame, Metatron. Very good energy. It's Enoch in the Bible. And let Enoch support you. He was upgraded as a human. And he's always there. That violet flame protection. Jesus is always there too. That unconditional love, that Essene nature of fasting, meditation. And the Egyptian rose, that ancient Egyptian rose, which was like the sigil of like ancient times of accomplishment in folks, like in the roads, the Silk Road and different roads of trade. You could always tell if somebody had importance because they had the sigil of the rose. And the way Fibonacci expanded, it's like Jesus is associated with this. That's why he's also associated with these like Rosicrucian societies and things like that, because the rose signifies that perfect sequence, that everything serves you, and that it's a transfer of information, it's a transfer of energy, and spirals all the time. Spring, coil, torsion, moments in coil, moments in turn. How many turns in your coil of your spring? Looking at your natal chart, that's just a wheel turning, and then you've got summon wheels, and it's all a coil. It's like you're all in DNA. You're just an expression of the monad in Gnostic culture. And you're fighting the demiurge, and you do not consent to all these turnings of the wheel, these coils that are connected in our natal charts day by day. But yet we're here, and we're going through these life lessons. So I'm looking for my galactic deck, but it's hiding from me. So folks, while you're going through this transition, I had a wonderful therapist recommend this to me. Anything written by Marshall Rosenberg is money. If you're looking to brush up on how to better communicate, because communication is going to be very important. Aquarius requires efficient and effective communication, because Aries is rough action energy, and it's like you're jumping off the cliff. So the better that you can communicate yourself in a way that allows other people to hold space and understand you, especially during hard conversations, the better. Even when emotions are high, if you still express yourself in a way that's effective, then you can still get your message across in the way that it was meant to be received. So, as far as dealing with anger, what's making you angry? 10 steps to transforming anger so everyone wins. I have a book upstairs in my library that talks about rage and explosive anger and how to deal with outbursts. And it also ties into like setting boundaries and forgiving those who've betrayed you. I think I need to read that book again. But this is a good one. The surprising purpose of anger. Don't be ashamed of your anger. It's just going to sit in your hips. Then you're going to have a tight lower back, and then you're going to have tight shoulders and neck. You're going to be all kyphotic, and there's going to be slingbacks in your posture, and then you're going to be in pain, weak hamstrings, no butt. We can work it out. And if you have knee tightness, it's because you have fear of moving forward. So think about that. You've got to ground those feet, root those feet into the ground. I will be doing some grounding prayers and exercises. Sometimes I'm able to ground really well, but when I'm in high altitudes, I find it difficult. Even if I'm in the mountains where there's nothing but earth and iron, it's all that magnetic frequency. But yes, grounding, placing the roots of your feet into the floor, tapping into the divination of water and to the root of the well, going deeper towards the center of your Gaia, releasing the tension in your pubic bone inside of your inner thighs, right where the pubic bone meets, releasing, feeling the femoral artery relax, how it pops in the gastrocnemius in your calf, releasing through the top of the foot, around that heart chakra at the base of the ball of your foot underneath, and how the space between your big and second toe releases and becomes more flexible, and your arch becomes more relaxed. Sending all that energy, draining all that emotional energy from your heart, releasing all the anger and resentment from your liver, your stomach, allowing it to relax and sink into your legs. Feel the iliopsoas that holds your hips in place, holds your pelvis. Start to relax back into its natural, elastic state. Feel how this frees up and equalizes both sides of your body as the back of the heart chakra drains where the lungs and the thymus are. The thymus being the high heart, directing where emotions should go, holding space for grief. Taking big deep breaths, opening the back of the throat as the thyroid readjusts because there's space in the chest to circulate all that energy down through the gut, through the sacral chakra, out through your legs and out through the floor, reaching your soul chakra, your earth chakra. Soul chakra is the opposite. Your earth chakra touching base with Mother Gaia 10 feet below you into the ground, keeps your resonance and frequency at all times. Are you in touch with the Schumann resonance? Listen to your heartbeat here. What is it telling you? Do your vibrations match in sequence with the Schumann resonance of the earth? Do you feel stillness? Expand the chest with your lungs and your deep breath through the nose. Does everything flow? If not, find the place where you need to find. Feel the shoulders decompress down the back. Feel how the spine can elongate through the shoulder blades, re-straightening the neck without hunching over. Sitting up nice and tall, like you're holding a book on the top of your head. Feeling the eyes relax as the energy between the eyebrows and throughout the eyebrows and temples roll away, dissipating into the ether. And how the jaw relaxes from the back of the head and releases tension through the neck, through the scalenes, through the sternocleidomastoids. Intercostal breathing. Sending those shoulder blades out and then down. Finding touch, feeling the bottoms of your feet relax. Finding everything within you soften. Feeling all of that energy, that tension in your body and your neck and your shoulders flush out through your legs and down into the earth, giving back to the ocean to be clean, back into the circulation. So, before I wrap up here, another couple books here. I hope that tiny, brief introduction to what a full grounding prayer and blessing meditation would be, that you felt that. And I'd get you into a different state of mind first. I might do some tuning forks before that, but I'll do that tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to do a workout this evening. This video ended up going quite long. But if you have conflicts in your life and you're looking to find peace, Rosenberg also wrote a book. We can work it out, and getting past the pain between us, healing and reconciliation without compromise. Yeah, good stuff. So, got another thing here. No, come on. Doesn't want to come out. Why? What are you doing? You're stuck. Okay. Psoas safety for the vagus deck. Lovely vagus nerve deck. The psoas muscle, which is found deep in your lower back and hip area, which I was just talking about during the meditation, the grounding meditation. It's right here, iliosacral, and it connects in the back, and actually it structures the direction. It holds everything in the hips in place. And when it's tight on one side, or if it's not working properly, if you have a tilted pelvis like I do, it's always gonna be tight. And it's also stress related. So it's found deep in your lower back and hip area. It's also called the muscle of the soul. Yes, wow. I have a whole book on the psoas, iliopsoas. Activating your psoas while orienting yourself in the room strengthens the connection between your body and the environment and nurturing a sense of security. It's always important to have relaxed hips. I noticed that women barely ever have relaxed hips, and that's why they always break their right foot, which is lack of feminine energy. It's because of the shame. It's because of not being able to express your Chiron or your Lilith, dealing with your Chiron so you can express your full Lilith and regain your sovereignty by taking back your energy or reclaiming what you know is naturally yours and not letting yourself be small to others. Yeah. So find a comfortable seated position. Place your hands on your hips or at your sides. Slowly turn your torso to the right side, feeling the engagement in your core and a subtle stretch along your sides. Focus on your breath as you breathe deeply into the twist. In Pilates, we do a lot of oblique twists on the springboard and on the reformer. I'll be doing those in some of the workouts. Return to the center and repeat on the other side. Returning to the left, one hip will work better than the other. Ooh, that left hip. To enhance the practice as you turn from side to side, look around the room and reassure yourself, I am safe. I do that in a lot of my somatic release, because you're supposed to go and scan the body, taking your breath into these tight areas, being like, I'm returning you to parasympathetic nervous state. It is safe to breathe here. It is safe to relax and be yourself and take up space without obligation, pressure, worry, or fear. You're just here, balls of energy floating away. The karma goes off in the distance. Definitely the opposite of thinking about felonies and having to set new Saturn structures to place boundaries and dealing with conflict, people who are unwilling to heal. It's a very different vibe. So, that's your vagus nerve reset. So, looking around the room, it is safe here. I am safe. Deep breaths through the back of the rib cage, opening up the back of the throat, sides of the throat, around the sternocleidomastoids. Feeling the scalenes relax on the side that go into your upper traps, out through your supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major. Look at that side bend after you do some of those twists, opening up that lateral rib cage. Inhaling, bringing yourself back up to center. Opening up the other hand, T position, palm faces the ceiling, lifting up through the crown of the head. Lifting up out of the waist to, ooh, that rib cage is so tight from shoveling. Ouch. Oh my gosh. Whew. Looking up to the sky, giving thanks to God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, ancestors. Holy blessings. Namaste and love to everybody. A few years ago, I wanted to change my name to Irie, just like IRI. And I also wanted to go into rainbow. I have it in a notebook somewhere. I have all these different names. Like, what if I changed my name to this? Because I love Irie because it's 999. This was like 2003 And this is when I first discovered Michael Mirdan. It's like, oh, maybe my energy and my aura would be better if I changed my name to something that is in alignment with my soul. And then I realized, no, we were given our name on purpose. Like, it's hilarious. I like am the most bright person ever with my life, my exuberance, my extra quirkiness, my Uranus. But my name is Ash Gray. And I'm a Path 9. I clear situations everywhere I go. It's just weird because like things that are closest to me, it's just hard when everything is just constantly in limbo and up in the air. But I have faith. I might look back, but I'll come correct. I'll collect, I'll connect, and I'll come correct. That's like another mantra of mine for this channel. To collect, connect, and come correct. That's the goal. So yes, blue Egyptian flower. I have the essential oil as well as the tea. I suggest drinking it before bed. You get the Reiki infused, order from Paula. She does an amazing job. She also does a really great sacral chakra tea. She does a lot of chocolate and honey stuff too. That is not really something I can have, but I recommend it for those of you who like that. Definitely. I bet it's fantastic. Yeah, Maria. There you are. I was there. And the universe. Okay, January 27th. What does Jesus call for us today? There's supposed to be something entering something today. Is it Mars entering Aquarius? I thought that already happened. 27. Trust is a golden pathway to heaven. When you walk on this path, you live above your circumstances. My glorious light shines more brightly on those who follow this path of life. Dare to walk on the high road with me, for it is the most direct route to heaven. The low road is circuitous, twisting and turning in agonizing knots. Wow, coils, agonizing knots, tension in the body. Whoa, that's crazy. The air hangs heavy and dark, Capricorn energy. Ominous clouds predominate. Relying on your own understanding will weigh you down. It's true, you have to give it up. That's what I've been doing, is trying to get out of my own understanding, because I don't understand a lot of things, and maybe I never will. And that's really difficult being a Libra ascending and just a Scorpio moon. It's like, no, I need answers. Trust in me absolutely, and I will make your path straight. It's true. The book of Timothy has a lot of great scriptures about this, and I also like Deuteronomy, like those who come to me in one way will flee in many ways. And also the scripture, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every time they speak my name, I prosper, I grow. Every time they gossip, I just glow. Every time they say my name, my positivity just grows. What we don't see coming is the Ten of Swords from this Queen of Cups, Wands situation, and the Fool, just not knowing what's going on. It's that wonderment, it's that surprise, that hidden stuff, that fear, that emotion. Beginning again, we don't see at the bottom of the deck, it's a Ten of Swords. But then patience with temperance, it's Sagittarius. And oh man, I called it the Two of Swords, like the Two of Wands. The blindfolded, not knowing which direction to take, which cord to cut. I am so here right now, and I don't even know what's mine that I have the decision to make either, because it's not always up to me. So it's hard when there's never communication. It's so hard. But yeah, Two of Swords. And the moonlight, there's like that Lilith energy, that past moonlight. And then there's water, just a ton of emotion behind you, just being like, it's just like a ripple, slow ripple. There's land off in the distance. So you can see land behind you. And you know that it's there if you just cut the cord. It's similar to devil energy because in the devil card, you're tied to chains, but you can release yourself from them at any time. And that's just how it is in Christianity too. It's like the shackles of Satan. You can always free yourself at any time by giving yourself to God, by surrendering yourself to the grace and love of Jesus Christ, which it's all relative and it's all important and it's all beautiful. And I encourage this for anybody who's in their journey with spirituality, that loving crystals, loving books, loving tarot, it's all honoring God. It's all there because you're expressing yourself as the monad and the pleroma of all heaven. And it's your gnosis. Your gnosis, by dealing with your shadow, you come to who you are, honoring your salts and minerals in your body. Don't become the pillar of salt that lingers. Keep looking forward. Even if there's a 10 of Swords ahead, be patient because there's a 7 of Swords. It's not great either. And then there's heartache. There's heartbreak with the 3 of Swords. Just lots of swords. Geez, I guess can't be nice. So I've got to hold my ground, not knowing which cord to cut, but then I guess that means, because I guess it all just seems like I have to just cut all the cords and just move on, but that I don't know if any of this makes sense to any of you guys, because 10 of Swords is a breakup, a very final ending. 7 of Swords, it's like they're just gathering them. They're planning something. It's sneaky energy. It's rat behavior energy. That's what the 7 of Swords is. And the 3 of Swords is just heartbreak, like your heart was broken. And yeah, okay. Wow, Magician reversed, King of Wands. Somebody messing around, playing their games, bringing that King of Wand energy. And it's like manifestation gets blocked and it stays in the past with the moon energy. It's, yeah. Some Pisces energy there too. Reverse Queen of Swords and then Empress. Takes me like 10 cards to get to the Empress. But yeah, it's, oh, and the Star was next. Queen of Cups clarified by the Star, Aquarius energy. You have 2 cups pouring on land and water, you're in balance, and you're in the Star. You're in that nice Star energy. 17th card. 17, it's like my fortune. It's in February, it's Aquarius. This is Aquarius energy, and my fortune is the 17th of February. My daughter's born then, so that's pretty cool. Page of Wands, clarifying. Page of Wands, they're okay. King of Swords, Hangman. 6 of Pentacles, ooh, change of money. And then the 3 of Swords. I'm there, I know, I've learned the lesson. I'm not gonna go back this way again. Okay, I see the pain, I see it coming. I'm not gonna fight back. I'm not gonna give into that rage bait. I'm not gonna get into that bait anymore. I'm just gonna love. Like, I'm just trying to even if I didn't cause the issue, because people get mad over the things that they do and they don't wanna come clean with them, I'm still gonna love. I'm still gonna forgive. I'm still gonna fight to be soft. If nobody's gonna show me divine masculine, then I will show what it is to be divine feminine. I will stand my ground and I will still love, because this is all love. I love myself too, and I deserve to take up space too. And when you don't honor your agreements and you don't honor each other, then chaos ensues and destruction occurs, and it's all devil energy. Let it go. Move on. Life is so good. Let's get rid of this disturbing, heavy energy. So, anyway, Constellation. Wow, hour and a half. It's a long video. Okay. Well, that's today. I have my howlite, my malachite, and my lapis lazuli with a lot of selenite. I have all the chakra balances behind me. Oh, also I wanted to mention, always keep sea salt around. I have blessed salt, dead sea salt, sage with me. You like sea salt? Always bless your areas. Also, it's good to have an intention jar. I'll be posting at some point. I took a video New Year's Eve with my daughters. We've been writing notes in the fall since I came back from Sedona. There I went to my Daughters of Heaven conference, like the incarnation of Mary, Mother Mary, returning to Earth to help the advancement of humanity and healers, light workers, holding space. I'd love to talk about that one day, but Christ consciousness, Intention jar. There's 2 jars. You write down the things that you're really ready to let go of. And every day could be like a small action. I say this in my classes all the time at the cool down when they're all in their butterfly position that, imagine empty your cup. You're nothing but a ball of energy, and you see it floating away in space like a star far away in the quantum theory of your body, the quantum realm. You're just a neutrino floating through space, floating through everything. It's like those ghost particles. Giving up the ghost, finding what's real, equal give and take, equal effective communication, somebody who's going to show up for you, be present. Make sure you know always that you're number one and that there's hierarchy and order. And there's certainty, and there's vulnerability in that. That one person you can always just be your full self with. That best friend that I can come crying and I know you're going to support me. I'll never stab you in the back, ever, ever. So, people who don't operate out of fear because they are strong and they know who they are. That Leo, give me that lion, show me who you are. That big kitty energy, but it's real, it's authentic. Strength. Yeah, intention jar. I always tell them, what's one thing that you can change? What's one action that you can do in efforts to becoming the person that you want to be today? And like when you look back this time next year, who's the person that you want to see staring back at you in the mirror? Does that person accomplish all the goals that you set this year for them? What are those goals? And then look back and see, oh, I made that action that day. I took that one baby step, that one action in the direction of the path I wanted to reach the goal of the new me that I wanted to become. And then you take another baby step. And every day, there's just one step that you're taking towards becoming your best self. So, constellation is the herdsman, boots. Arcturus, whoa! Boots is a herdsman from Greek mythology, sometimes associated with Arcus, son of Zeus and Callisto. He's often depicted as chasing away Ursa Major, the great bear, and the constellation is notable for its distinctive kite shape. It's between 90 degrees north and 35 degrees south. It's the brightest star. It's the 4th brightest star in the sky. An aging red giant star, it appears noticeably coppery to the naked eye. It can easily be found by following the curved handle of the Big Dipper to the south. Boots contains a handful of double stars, including Epsilon Bootis, Izar. A telescope with a high magnification will show an orange star with a fainter blue companion. Boots contains the Boots Void, a large, nearly empty region of space lacking in deep sky objects, such as there are no notable star clusters, nebula, or galaxies here. Interesting. Boots. And that's Boots. And you can see it's next to Canis Venatici, and I can't see where else it's by. Alcalorops, Izar, Arcturus. Arcturus is a very important star, though. I've actually done some research on that, but I can't recall it right now because it was like a couple months ago. Arcturus. Do you remember that? Okay. Well, many blessings. Namaste. I pray that we all face our struggles together and that we find our new beginnings, holding hands energetically as we become the vision I've seen, where we all stand golden, singing in harmony. I also have been getting downloads of Jericho. You've been talking about Orpheus and the lyre, lyre, liar, lawyer, liar, lawyer. So funny. Ilia acta est. Leia acta est. The die has been cast. We have become the fool. We find our sovereignty. We become the golden image where we all stand around the world holding hands. With the I am, you are, we are one. We are the presence of God in the monad, the pleroma, the presence of heaven itself in one with the earth. Everything in alignment, everything in harmony, accepting our sovereignty. There's no need to be hive mind. It's about being hive-minded in the brain, knowing which part you are and which part you want to be. Knowing that that is a perfect fit, knowing that we're a stem cell that can become anything. At the naivety of youth, that full energy, you can be anything. And it's never too late, you're never too old. It's about the Neville Goddard quote, we don't change circumstances, we change state of minds. It's about how you look at things. And I think that's what Jesus calling devotional is saying too, that, it's about changing the state of mind. If you believe that you can bring down the walls of Jericho with your trumpets on the 7th day, shouting 7 times, walking sound 7 times, blowing that trumpet after walking around for 6 days, and the walls just crumble beneath you, so you can enter the city like Israelites were able to gain access. Just with song, just like, Orpheus with this song. And the Loco is the app that I've been using to create my own songs a cappella. I've been adding some beats to it, but I've been creating new songs from downloads that I've been getting that I will share. So yeah, the intention jar, also finishing up that thought. Intentions, I just have all this information I want to share. Intentions of things that you want to do, and then things you want to let go of every day, and then you burn it at the end of the year at a bowl burning ceremony or a glass burning ceremony. We did that, and it was a lot of fun. New Year's Eve, just to set that new beginning, that new intention for the next year. So yeah, many blessings. Everybody achieves everything they need to. Everybody gets good sleep, and they have a prosperous next day. You are loved. You are never alone. You're worthy, and you're always God's number one. And you keep faith, and you'll find that you're number one in this reality. And you'll find that person. You'll draw that soulmate connection to you. So keep hope. Don't look back. If there's someone following you, they'll come correct, So many blessings. Namaste.